Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices, and I'd like to start with the German mid-cap 50 here on the daily chart because it's got quite a clear count in terms of wave 3 here and A wave here and all the way over here for B wave, and we've been counting 5 waves down for wave C or 4 here. This little last leg here is a little bit difficult to get my head around if I just go to the hourly chart here. It's possible that we've got a low in here, but there may be one more here. So I'm just not quite sure about this just yet. So I know that we're close to this particular low here. And this is the same for the France market as well, the French market. So in this instance here, we've got an A wave here, then an A and a B and a C wave here for the B wave, and then 5 waves down here as well. So we're also close here as well. There's no point in trading long here just yet until we have 5,000, the closest largest number, as support. It's possible to have this as wave 4 here and move up into wave 5, moving up this way, or possible to have a triangle here. But for a triangle pattern to happen here, this has dropped off rather sharp here. So I don't know if that's the actual case, and also too, we would also have to look at this a little bit differently than this as well. So let's just see if we do get support back on the 5,000 to start with, and then we can have a look at some long trades from that point. Looking at, I might just have a look at the AEX here, because with the AEX and its B wave up here, it counts better in this case with one more to go here. So 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here for 5 here, then a fourth wave, and then a 5th wave here. So this is sort of on my mind a little bit. That could play out with the other markets as well. So we do need to be mindful of the current bounce that's going to come in across the European markets. So with the DAX here, just on the daily chart here, in this case here, yeah, so we're looking at a wave 4 here. We can't allow this wave 4 to move down here and overlap wave 1. If that's the case, then we'll need to call the top in, and calling a top in is not such a big deal, because this wave 4 here can play out over here on this low here as a triangle pattern coming down here, and then that would leave us with 5 waves to the upside here as a top in play. But we don't need to go there yet. I mean, it's certainly possible, and if that's the case, then we can expect this market to pull down to this level here. But I just want to see how this goes here. So with this in mind here, if I go to the daily chart here, it'd be natural to put the B wave on top here, but yeah, and you can do that, and we can count it down like that, but yeah, I'm just going to leave it where it is for the time being, as being placed in here and continuing to count as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So if we get a bounce off, and this is a bit of a trend channel in here too, by the by, so at 11,000 support here. So in this instance here, we're looking for a move higher into this space here. I don't particularly really want to go long here in terms of a longer term trade. I mean, short term trade, certainly we can do that. So I might just cut through to the hourly chart here for this current low here. So from this, from wave 4 here, I've got this as wave 1 and 2 here, and then 5 waves down for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th wave here on this low here. So let's see how this moves to the upside. If you're short from up here, we took some profit here if that's the case. So you can just bringing the stop down on these highs here. So we may get stopped out here. The other interesting point here too is that with 11,000 here, we've got 100, 200 and 300 here. So all of those together make group 1, and the top of group 1 here, the 11,300, if that becomes the support, then we can look for a push up into the 5 area here. If we do get support on the 5, well then obviously we can continue to build in long from that point there, but the idea would be to have support on top of, if you stopped out of your longs, shorts rather, and we've got a tested support on 300 here, then we can trade up to 500 and exit at that point, because there will be pullbacks from that particular point. So at the same time, we're in a downtrend, and it's not like we've made a new high above any of these highs here. So we could also just drop from here as well. So we need to be mindful for that. But any move down from here is going to see a bounce off the 11,000 and then back up and then down here and back up. So you just have to be really careful here. So the trade here would be 11,000 as a retested resistance. So yeah, I don't think I can really sort of add to that by going into, this is just the tick chart here. I'll need to expand this up here. Yeah, I mean, I've gone over from wave 4 as I've gone through sort of everything here, and this is quite a good fit here. So we possibly can have a low in place. This low here is the low. This one here was sort of above that. But we certainly can come down from here, as looking at this as an A and a B and a C wave here. But I was looking here as well, this top being taken out from here, if that's the case, then that would give us overlapping wave structures and make this corrective, this move here corrective. If this was taken out here, it's sort of just on it now. So if that's taken out here, then we can call this a corrective move, and we can look for higher ground to move in at that particular point. So just watch that current high here. But I don't have any real evidence of a move up so far. I don't have a nice clear impulse wave at this stage. It's possible that we can move up from the low. That's all I'm saying. We're not going long here yet. We're just, you know, bringing our stops down to cover our short trades in this. So where are we off to now? The FTSE. So with the FTSE here, we've been playing it out across the 7,000, and it was a little bit confusing with all of this here. But it's really got, this has really got the look and the feel of a fourth wave correction. So we can look at this as the fifth wave down here. Now in this case here, we've certainly got overlapping wave structures. If we call this wave 1, 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here, it really gives us that overlapping wave structure within that case there. So it's possible that this could even move down further in terms of wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, then down for 1 and back for 2. So we really need to be above this 7,000 area here to give us, you know, any sort of long trade to the upside. So I just suggest that we wait for this to play out here, all of these markets, and let's just see if we get a lift here. Obviously we're fighting a downtrend here, and calling lows in is fine, and trading them is fine if you know what you're doing, but I just don't have a clear pathway yet, and I always really like to wait for the first impulse wave to the upside. You know, so we can count from wave 4 here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. It's got overlapping wave structures, but I've seen this happen before with, you know, being skewed around large numbers. So yeah, let's just see how this goes from this point here. Yeah, so if you're going to trade long, we need that setup on the 11,000, on the 7,000, and a setup really would be the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then there would be an ABC. So we've got plenty of time. So then we'd take that top there, and then we can bring it down to this top. We could even get a better position in here, but we do need this to play out here. Then we can trigger those to the upside from that point, because that way it's been tested. It's the breakout's important, but the retest is just as important, if not more important, to complete the actual setup to the upside. So we're in a downtrend, and we've been I've been mentioning that, you know, we should be seeing a move up over the last couple of videos. and it's taken a while to get there, and I still don't have any evidence of that, but let's see if we get our first impulse wave to the upside, and it's possible that we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and then there would be the ABC back again. But even having these 5 here would give us the next 5 to the upside. So we still have a lot of work to do here for all of this to help confirm that we're out, that that we're actually out of this other main trend to the downside. And also to the MIB is a bit the same but different. So I've been looking for a low. I know that we turned bearish below 20,000, but I also know too that in terms of the trading levels, so 20,000 is a major level, then we've got group 1 above here, 1, 2, 3, and then we've got 18, which is below the next level, and then we've got 1650 here, which is a medium level, 16,500, so that, anyway, in there somewhere. But it's just natural to get a bounce off 18 here. Okay, so some of this structure coming down here, I can see quite clearly. So if I just cut through to, say, the hourly chart, well, this is where it gets a bit confusing. So I've been going, I can see we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then I can see that we've got 5 waves here. Wave 4 was a bit high. This hasn't finished in 3 waves here. Yes, I can see that we've got 5 waves up here on the low here. So we could even possibly call this up for, copy that text just there, as wave 1 here and wave 2 here. But I don't know. This hasn't finished very nicely to the downside, so I'm not sure which way I should call it. So all I do know is that we're looking for a low. We can expect a bounce off the 18. Yes, and there may be another move to the downside for this to complete as such. So I would suggest here that if the 18 here, 19 becomes support, then we can look to trade long at that point. But I also want to point out too that if this is 5 waves up here and we've got our ABC back, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 here, we still need this length here would play out, would play out here. So this could be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here and fail. Okay, so we need those little 5 waves up there to finish, and then once they're finished, then we can bring this here and have that up there, and then we could also start bringing that back down to get a better thing, because if it was going to be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 would eventually take one of these tops out, but taking this top out here would get us past the A, the B and the C wave here. Because the wave count is unclear here, that would be the safest way to approach it to the long side. And also too, if we're going to go up from here, then having a small position here and then looking to add on top of the 20 here, of course there's going to be some reaction from here. So you would either need to make the decision to exit at 20, trading level 2, major trading level, or use this one here, this smaller position here, with the view of allowing it to, correct back in through here, and then if it found support, we can use it to add on. And that becomes quite helpful then, because we've got that little space in here later on, we can you can increase the trade size later on once we've got support here, but you can't really increase the trade size here if you're re-entering on the 20 here. So it's just sort of a bit of pocket money to give you a bit of support along your journey up here further. Let's see how this pans out here. So I don't really have any answers here. I'm just shooting the breeze with a couple of strategies and a few suggestions. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.